If humans evolved from apes, then why do apes still exist? If Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon who took the photo of him stepping onto it, NASA somehow lost the original recordings of the moon landing, one of humanity's greatest achievements. And if we did it in 1969, why haven't we gone back? Why can't anyone freely explore Antarctica? What are they hiding? Why do Egyptian artifacts show spacecraft?
Right now, somewhere in Antarctica, there are armed patrols guarding a continent that supposedly belongs to no one. Right now, deep inside the vaults of the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, there are artifacts that have never been shown to the public. And right now, you are being told to just trust the narrative and never, ever ask questions. Well, I'm asking, because there are 5 questions that have been asked millions of times, and not once has anyone in power given us a straight answer. 5 simple questions, that's all it takes to crack the entire story wide open. And by the time you reach question number 5, you're going to look at everything differently. So lock in, because this is the video they don't want you to see. Before we start, I need you to do something. Just hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because channels like this have a funny way of disappearing. If this video helped open your eyes, the least you can do is share it with one person, just one. Now let's get into it.
Question number 1. If humans evolved from apes, why are apes still here? Now before you roll your eyes and say that's been debunked, hear me out, because the standard answer is that we didn't evolve from modern apes, we share a common ancestor with them. Okay, cool. So where is that common ancestor? Show me the bones. Show me the complete fossil record that connects us step by step from that mystery creature to the person watching this video right now. You can't, because what scientists call the missing link is still missing. They've found fragments, a jawbone here, a skull piece there, but the full unbroken chain from that supposed ancestor to modern humans has never been laid out on a table and proven. We're told evolution is settled science, and yet the most critical piece of evidence, the one thing that would shut every skeptic up permanently, doesn't exist. And instead of admitting that, they tell you you're stupid for asking. That's not science. Science welcomes questions. So why does this one make people so uncomfortable? What are they afraid we'll figure out if we keep pulling this thread?
Question number 2, and this one has haunted the internet for years. If Neil Armstrong was the first human being to ever step foot on the moon, then who was holding the camera? Who filmed that iconic footage of him climbing down the ladder and stepping onto the lunar surface? Because somebody had to be out there already, right? Now, NASA's official answer is that there was a camera mounted on the outside of the lunar module that deployed automatically and captured the moment. And okay, fair enough. But let me ask you this. In 1969, they had the technology to mount a remote-controlled, perfectly angled, broadcast-quality camera on the outside of a spacecraft that survived the violence of a lunar landing, the extreme temperatures, the radiation, and it just worked flawlessly on the first try? In 1969? We couldn't even get color TV right in 1969. But sure, a camera bolted to the side of a tinfoil-wrapped spacecraft transmitted perfect footage 238,000 miles back to Earth without a single glitch. I'm not saying we didn't go to the moon. I'm saying the details don't add up the way they should, and when you ask, people get angry instead of giving you clear answers. Why is that?
Question number 3. The ancient Egyptians. Now this one genuinely keeps historians up at night, even if they won't admit it publicly. Inside the Temple of Seti I at Abydos, there is a panel of hieroglyphs that has become one of the most controversial carvings in the history of archaeology. When you look at it, you don't see birds and snakes and the usual Egyptian symbols. You see what looks unmistakably like a helicopter, a submarine,
a futuristic aircraft, shapes that have absolutely no business being carved into a wall that is over 3,000 years old. The official explanation? Palimpsest. They say that one set of hieroglyphs was carved over another set, and the overlapping created shapes that just accidentally look like modern aircraft. Accidentally. 3 separate carvings that accidentally look like 3 separate modern vehicles, all in a row, all on the same panel? That's what they want you to believe. And that's not the only artifact. Egyptian relics depicting what appear to be light bulbs, power sources, beings descending from the sky. These exist in museums right now, but you won't see them in your history textbook. Ask yourself why. If it's all just coincidence and erosion and overlapping carvings, why not put it in the textbook and explain it? Unless the explanation doesn't hold up under scrutiny. Question number 4. And this might be the most important one on this list. Why can't anyone freely explore Antarctica? Think about that. You can book a flight to virtually any country on Earth. You can hike through the Amazon. You can get a permit to climb Everest. But Antarctica? There is an international treaty, the Antarctic Treaty of 1959, signed by every major world power during the height of the Cold War. Countries that couldn't agree on anything, the United States and the Soviet Union, sat down together and agreed that no one, absolutely no one, would be allowed to freely explore, claim, or develop Antarctica. During the Cold War, 2 nations pointing nuclear weapons at each other suddenly held hands and said, "This one continent is off limits." Doesn't that strike you as odd? Private citizens cannot go wherever they want on that continent. Military presence is restricted. Independent exploration is heavily regulated and essentially forbidden beyond certain points. What is down there? Because something made the 2 most hostile superpowers in human history agree to lock it away from the rest of us. And every few years, a high-ranking government official or world leader makes a quiet, unexplained trip to Antarctica. John Kerry went there on Election Day 2016. Buzz Aldrin went and had to be medically evacuated and later tweeted that what he saw was evil itself before the tweet was deleted. Patriarch Kirill of the Russian Orthodox Church went there. Why are religious leaders and politicians making pilgrimages to an ice sheet? What did they see? What do they know that we don't? And that brings us to the real question, the only question that actually matters. What are they hiding from us? Because every single question I just asked has something in common. They all have official answers that require you to stop thinking. Trust the science. It's just a coincidence. That's been debunked. These aren't answers, they're commands. Real answers invite more questions. Real answers hold up when you challenge them. Real answers don't need to be protected by treaties, censorship, and ridicule. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm telling you to stop letting other people decide what you're allowed to ask. Share this video with someone who still thinks everything they were taught is the full truth. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Which question hit you the hardest? And if this video disappears, you'll know why. I'll see you in the next one. Stay awake.